Good evening. Welcome to the Board of Selectmen's meeting on Monday, July 28th, 2025. We'll call the meeting to order at 6:01. Could I get a roll call, please, Beth?
Select Chair, Mr. Coy.
Here.
Select Vice Chair, Mr. DeRoche.
Here.
Selectman Mr. Gifford.
Excused?
Selectwoman Ms. Costa.
Excused?
Selectman Mr. Charlton.
Here.
And to the right, Town Manager Mr. Colby is with us.
And if we could stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Swearing in a new police officer, which is always an exciting night.
Yes.
And it's nice, we've had a few this year, which is always nice.
It's very great.
No, just talk, you should be all set.
All right. Good evening. I'm John Santoro, Chief of Police here in Plastow. And I'm here to read you a bio of a new officer we're going to be swearing in tonight momentarily. Tonight we have with us Officer John Lafferty. He's coming to us as a new recruit and will be attending the New Hampshire Police Academy starting the first of the year. In the meantime, he'll be undergoing an in-house 12-week FTO program. Officer Lafferty is a recent graduate of New England College where he earned a Bachelor of Arts degree in criminal justice. While there, he's recognized as an academic All-American for wrestling and maintaining a GPA of 3.2 or higher. He's a member of Chi Alpha Sigma and Dean's List member. He's worked as a camp counselor and coached over 100 youth in wrestling. Officer Lafferty is joined here tonight with his family, friends, and some of his coworkers. And folks, I want to welcome Officer John Lafferty.
Come on up, John. Welcome. Welcome to Commonwealth. Martha will give you the swearing in. It's right here, it's fine.
I
Solemnly and sincerely
swear and affirm
that I will bear faith
that I will bear faith
and true allegiance
and true allegiance
to the United States of America
to the United States of America,
and to the state of New Hampshire,
and to the state of New Hampshire,
and will support the Constitution thereof,
and will support the Constitution thereof,
so help me God.
so help me God.
I
I, John Lafferty,
do solemnly and sincerely
do solemnly and sincerely
swear and affirm
swear and affirm
that I will faithfully and impartially
that I will faithfully and impartially
discharge and perform
discharge and perform
all the duties incumbent upon me
all the duties incumbent upon me
as a full-time
as a full-time
Plastow police officer
Plastow police officer
for the town of Plastow,
for the town of Plastow,
according to the best of my abilities,
according to the best of my abilities,
agreeable to the rules and regulations
agreeable to the rules and regulations
of this Constitution
of this Constitution
and the laws of the state of New Hampshire,
and the laws of the state of New Hampshire,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Now we can officially welcome you to Plastow.
Exactly. He started early today. He'll go through orientation this week and get suited up and hitting training next week.
John, are you from the area?
Yeah, I live right down the street.
I guess that's close then.
No traffic.
So no excuses. You can't blame traffic in the morning, right? When you gotta get in.
So those are for you. Print your seal, print your oath, and if you'd like a copy of it, come stop by my office.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Congratulations.
Thank you. Step over there. We'll get some photos downstairs.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you,
Thanks,
sir.
Congratulations. Always,
Thank
it's
you.
always great.
Welcome aboard.
Well, welcome. And I'm sure we'll be seeing you soon. Hopefully, it won't be pulling me over.
Behave yourself.
Right. Thank you, everyone, for coming. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Bye. Thanks. And next up on the agenda, we have Water Department update. Come on down, Charlie. Good evening. Thanks for coming in. It's just, just a quick update, kind of how everything's going.
Yeah, absolutely. I wish I had more time. Greg and I planned this Thursday, so I don't have a presentation
Okay.
per se, but I do have some notes, and I'm happy to go
Perfect.
through the kind of the state of the water system, if you will.
No, we appreciate you coming in.
Absolutely. So for those, I think everybody here knows me, Charlie Lanza, General Manager of Hampstead Water Services. So we've operated the system now for almost 3 years. I believe it went online around August, September of 22. So we're just about at the 3-year mark. I'm proud to say we're meeting all state and federal requirements right now. So there are no water quality concerns to speak of. We will talk about some of the stuff we're tracking in a minute here. So water quality in general is excellent. This is the time of the year that, if you're familiar with maybe some conversations with Greg, as the temperatures get warmer, the tank gets warmer, the water gets warmer, we start to see more growth when it comes to the nitrification. At this point, right, so at East Road, water quality as of right now is excellent. I will hand out, I don't know, Greg, have they seen this chart before?
They have in the past, but yeah, it's
Perfect. So disinfection byproducts are, they're exactly that. They're a byproduct of disinfection. So basically, when the water gets disinfected, these contaminants can become present in the water system. And there's really two that we're focused on. There's HAA5s, which basically translates to haloacetic acids. And then there's also something called total trihalomethanes. We're not worried about those in Plastow. Those have historically in the 3 years have not been an issue. The HAA5s we're watching closely. You can see when the system went online, we had a spike, and then we were managing it. We got it down below the limits towards the end of 23 with the average, because these are a running annual average. So they take your 4 quarters. As you get a new sample, they average it. So right now we're right around 41, just shy of 41. The limit is the blue line, which is 60. So we're tracking that very closely. And we have some tools to address it if it does start to creep up or continue on that direction. Primarily flushing. We can also use chemicals at the tank as well to try to mitigate that. And that's if we say if the tank turns. Basically, if the tank starts to show water quality that's indicative that we're going to lose the disinfection, then we'll propose to Greg that we should flush or we should look at some other remedies. But as of today, everything's tracking, everything's in good order. What we've found historically is around 74 to 75 degrees is kind of the tipping point. When the water in the tank gets above that, it becomes more and more difficult to maintain.
So that must mean the line coming all the way down is in good shape too, right, to Plastow, because it goes to all the other towns.
Yes, yeah.
Because we didn't inherit anything up above us.
Correct.
So that's a good thing.
Yeah. So water quality from Manchester down, as far as I'm aware, is in excellent shape. I can tell you for sure in Atkinson and Hampstead it is, and then in Plastow it's all, like I said, it's all meeting every requirement that the state and the feds have. Just wanted to give a brief update. One of the things we did, I believe it was last fall, the station at East Road, it was designed in a way to be able to back a truck up to unload chemical. So it's got kind of that loading dock on the face of it. We'll come to find out the only company locally that delivers chemical in bulk only does it with a full 18-wheeler. So as you can imagine, that site's kind of short. Having an 18-wheeler sticking out in the road presented challenges. So one of our guys had an idea, and it was a terrific one. Basically, what we came up with, and let me just backtrack a little bit here. So we were unable to get the truck to be able to fit. So what we've been doing is we've been getting 55-gallon drums, and we have a way that we can fairly safely, we can get it off the truck onto the dock. But it did present some safety concerns. So what we did is we proposed a little crane. It's just a little, you probably have seen it out there. Basically, that allows us to back the truck up, connect it to the barrel, lift the barrel onto the dock, and then we can roll it in. So just wanted to highlight that. It's made the chemical delivery much more safe, and it's working very well. SCADA and infrastructure maintenance. So we do have some, and we're talking to Greg on a regular basis. We have a couple minor adjustments we'd like to make to the chemical injection feed system. Basically, just looking to automate it a little bit more than it currently is. Right now, it's very manual, so there's a lot of calculations being done every day. You know, here's the ratio. Okay, we're flowing this much. You know, do I need to dial the chemical up? Do I need to dial it down? So one of the things long term we'd like to do is to just make some tweaks to make that a little easier for everybody involved. Talk a little bit about compliance. As I mentioned, everything as of right now is in compliance. Did want to highlight, and we're working with Greg and the fire chief on backflow compliance. One of the things that I think we're going to need the town's assistance with is basically anybody with a testable backflow device that's on the water system has a requirement to test it annually at a minimum. And if it's a high hazard, it has to be done twice a year. So we're working to get all these in compliance. We're at a point now where we have about 30 to 40% complete, but there's a lot of people that are either non-responsive or we don't have the teeth, if you will, as the contractor to be able to get them to do what they need to do. So we're working with Greg and the fire chief to be able to kind of ramp that up and get these folks to understand that this is not an optional program. So that's still in progress. Every year we go through the entire water system and we check every single valve. We operate them, we open them, we close them, we make sure that they work. We're starting that soon, so you'll see trucks on the side of the road with vests, and we'll be maintaining all of those. I have some facts I thought might be interesting. And right now in the summer is about 100,000 gallons per day, and we've seen a few days peak at around 130,000. So really good news, because if any of you remember when we first brought this system up and online, there were not enough customers, and we were flushing water ad nauseum just to make sure that the water didn't stagnate and we didn't have disinfection concerns. So
that's not an issue anymore.
No, not an issue. No, we have enough flow going through the system that the only flushing we need to do is either routine just to keep water quality up, or if we have an issue with disinfection byproducts.
Yep.
So great news there. And then I just was curious. The Sweet Hill tank typically averages 15 feet. So we run what we call a band, but I think the tank full is 18 feet, and we typically run it from 12 to 18. So, as people are using water in the morning, it starts to come down, and then the pumps at East Road kick on, and then they fill it back up and rinse and repeat. So that's what I have for talking points. And the only other thing I just wanted to mention, and this is more just me talking with business owners and residents in the area, does it make sense to reach out? And I don't know who would spearhead the effort, but for example, Walmart Plaza, that's one I pick on, that in the old Shaw's Plaza. I can't think of the name of it, but where all these is now. They're not on the water system. And I know they've had water issues recently. I'll be driving by and I'll see a tanker truck on one of the systems, or Walmart was having some plumbing issues recently. And it always just reminds me, do these folks know that there's water on their property? And, they could, theoretically connect within weeks or months. Obviously they'd have to pay the fees. And
Yeah, I was in Cumberland Farms one day when they were having, about a year ago, they were having an issue with water. And I'm like, what's going on? They're like, our well pump.
Yeah.
Like, there's a water line right there that you can connect to.
another good example.
Yeah, because they're all within 125, those pipes.
So there's a lot of properties, and a lot of them are probably businesses, but there's probably some single family homes that are all on the main, and they may or may not know that it's there and it's available. So it was really just me, I just wanted to bring it to your attention. It may be something that's worth considering.
No, it's probably something worth reaching out to Greg's, a few of those folks. Because it's been a while now. I think in the beginning, we were just so concerned about getting the levels where they had to be, and now
Yep.
with this. So now it is time to probably start reaching back out,
Yep.
especially to those plazas.
I know I'd asked about, putting together a plan for, marketing and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So I know, Greg, you were going to talk to Dee about that at some point, but I don't know what came of that.
And 2 years ago, I was more concerned about we need the customers because we need the flow, but
Yeah.
now it's, we've passed that point. But I think it just, it might be. I'm not really sure, but that was really the only thing I had. I do occasionally have residents that will call and ask and say, "Hey, I want to connect to the town," and I'll explain the process, and then they always question the fees. And I know the town did a kind of a preliminary, when the system first went online, there was like a time frame where they were reduced or forgiven or whatnot, but. I actually talked to somebody today, and they were asking me if that was still a thing, and I just explained I don't think it is, and I don't think it will be again. But I do hear that feedback from
Yeah,
time to time.
that I don't know, right?
The incentives program, that all lapsed, but
Yeah.
we do have a financing option available that the town supported a few years ago when we started this, and people can finance the cost of connecting into their water bill.
Okay,
That's
good.
right. We still have that program available, but the incentives as far as waiving the fees, maybe that's something we'd revisit, because it is quite expensive to connect.
So that was all I had prepared. I'm more than happy to answer any questions that you all might have.
Just regarding the backflow inspections, like,
Yep.
how's that typically done? Are you a water operator in other towns? How do you typically usually go about, if people aren't responsive to being inspected? How do we go about doing that? Do we need a code enforcement officer, or?
So if I put my private utility hat on, we have a different set of rules we follow than municipalities follow. So what we do on the private side is it takes a lot longer for us. As a municipality, you have different tools available to you.
Right.
And that's what I've been working with Greg with is, do you need to threaten, revocation of a CO, or how far do you take it to get these people to respond?
What's involved with the inspection?
So it's pretty straightforward. If it's a business or if it's a home or a business with fire protection, we notify them ahead of time. Please make sure that you contact your provider and put it on test, because it will oftentimes trip the fire alarm when you're doing the test.
Mm-hmm.
But basically you go in and it's 15, 20 minutes at most. They go in, they connect to there's usually 4 ports on the device, and they check each one, and they read their, I believe it's the differential pressures to make sure they're all doing what they're supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
And if it passes, it's just a 1-page report. And then that gets put in the file. If it doesn't pass, then they get a letter basically saying you're out of compliance.
Is there a fee or anything associated with that?
So I don't remember what the town of Plastow doesn't have a backflow fee, right? I don't think so.
I do not believe so. I mean, part of what we had talked about with Underwood and also we had discussed was looking at the rate structure to increase the fees because they're mostly, well, they're the fire suppression customers. So by increasing the square footage fee, but then also as part of that increase is hiring Hampstead area to do all of the backflow testing, so that we make sure and we're getting them done timely to meet the state requirements and the reporting and all of that. So that's good, is probably what we will end up doing. But no, as Charlie mentioned, I'm working with the fire chief because if we shut the water off, then we can pull the certificate of occupancy. And the bigger plazas and the like, down on 125 aren't going to want to lose any customers.
I
So,
wouldn't think so.
And is this mostly commercial or is there residential that are unresponsive to this?
I don't have the list in front of me. I think the vast majority of them are commercial, and that's not uncommon. We see that in Hampstead on 111. Is a lot of these businesses, they're, but back to your original question, we charge $75 a device for a backflow test. So, and I think that's a pretty, not a standard rate, but I think most of the people in the area that do testing are around that price.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Do you have anything to add or anything, Greg?
no, like I said, we're looking at making part of a fee
Yeah.
increase to have that covered. So,
Yeah, so it just would be part of the regular monthly
Yes.
bill instead of getting hit with
Right.
it. Which makes sense.
Yeah.
I think. Tyler, do you have anything?
No, I had a couple questions, but Jay asked them, so.
I do have one other thing, and if Dee were here, she'd probably have my head. But this is more long term. But at some point, I know right now we're doing quarterly billing. We were doing quarterly billing 10, 15 years ago, and we went to monthly, night and day. It's just, if you're a user and you're using a ton of water, and then you find out about it 90 days or 100 days afterwards, it's an awful long time to go by to try to troubleshoot. So there's a lot of benefits to going to monthly. And again, it's just me thinking out loud, maybe.
Well, even budgeting, you think about just running your house, right? You get hit with for a month instead of getting 3 months all at once. You're like, well, that's a hit.
Yep.
Instead of little by little.
What's involved with a changeover like that?
To go to
Going
monthly.
quarterly to monthly.
I think it's just the same process that you do quarterly. You just implement that 12 times a year instead of 4. It's
That would fall on the staff more than anything.
it's good. Yeah, it'll fall on the staff more than anything. So,
Is it something that's automated or is it a manual process?
a little bit of both. I mean, we're in the process of switching over to a new software. So that is ready to go live. Probably not. D is finalizing the second quarter billing. So from April, May, June, that should be going out. She was hoping it would go out today, but probably this week. And then the next quarter would be at, July, August, September. So the October one is go live with the new software. We have a new billing, which, Charlie and his, employees, they'll go out and you read the meters and then they upload it. But with the new software, it should hopefully be a lot quicker. We don't anticipate the bugs that we do in the old software. The issue would be is we commit it to the tax collector for collection. So you're talking about a lot more transactions that will be coming in downstairs. And where they are, that office is all part-time, it would be an adjustment and we'd have to work with them because of the level of added work. Because that is more manual than the billing itself.
I'd say maybe if we had more people on the system, it might be worthwhile, but I think at this point
Or you just keep monitoring.
We don't
it to
have
see
the
if it makes
number.
sense when it does.
I mean, we could also take it from quarterly and do it, every 2 months as well. 6 times a year versus 4 times
Yeah,
or 3. Yeah.
but we gotta get to the new software first.
We got some little steps here first, but.
Yep.
And she would have your head, I think.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure she would. I was thinking of things I might want to bring up, and that one popped in my head earlier in the office, and I'm like, should I bring it up?
You may walk outside, she's waiting for you.
She probably could have driven here at
Maybe
the time.
not, she's in retirement mode, so.
Hopefully
She might
all
not
the
be upset
police
about it.
officers and the swearing in are still down there.
Yeah. Witnesses.
But no, it's good to see, because I know when it first went live, when we were running into those issues.
Yeah, the disinfection byproduct was not the way we wanted to get things started. But fortunately, we're past that, and things are in really, really good shape. And the system, we didn't know what we were getting into.
Yeah.
But it's a 50, 60-year-old system. Nobody really knew what was what. And I'm pretty happy with the outcome. I'm very happy with the outcome. I mean, when you think about what the system used to be and what it is now. And
Yeah, so I used to remember those beginning days. It's good to have that behind us.
yes.
Absolutely. Anything else, guys?
I'm good. Thank you for the
Thank you,
presentation.
Charlie, for
Thank you,
coming in.
Charlie.
We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thanks, Charlie.
All right, have a good night.
Yeah, you
So-
too.
All right. The next up is the Police Department Highway Safety Grant. It's amended. I know we approved, what, for 8,500?
We had approved the 8,500 and did not realize that there was a grant amendment in the back of that documentation, which increased, and the state has gotten extremely specific with the approval of the grants and the amendments and the amounts. So it's really just to take a formal vote to not only recognize the approval of the 8,500, but then the subsequent increase up to the 14,665, I
Yeah.
think that it is.
So
So,
really what it is, we approved already for the 8,500.
yes.
The additional amendment is to add to the grant is an additional $6,165.
Correct.
So it would take the grant from 8,500 up to $14,665. So that's a good thing.
Yes, absolutely.
More money is always good.
Yep.
If someone wants to make a motion, or if there's questions, comments?
I'll make the motion to approve the amended Police Department Highway Safety Grant in the amount of $14,665.
Second.
Okay, go with this.
Sorry.
Sorry.
I'll withdraw my second.
I'll make the motion to accept the terms of the Highway Safety Grant as presented in the amount of $8,500 and the amended grant terms as presented in the grant agreement amendment notice for an additional amount of $6,165 for an adjusted total grant limitation of $14,665.
Second.
Second. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
So 300.
Thank you, not to be, but the state had bounced the other one
I had
back
to
and
flip this one,
said,
so that one was down then,
Yep.
that was where it needed to be.
All right. Next up, we got to approve the consent agenda. And on the consent agenda that went around is the accounts payable manifest for the week of July 24th, 2025. BOS draft minutes of July 14th, 2025. There's 3 annual salvage yard license renewals. There's deeds to 4 burial lots. And there's 1 2024 abatement settlement. And there was an additional item, warrant for water consumption fees.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda for July 28th.
I'll second it.
Kyle, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, so that's 300. And town managers report, Greg.
all right, it's been a busy couple of weeks since the last meeting. As I had mentioned, we did on board 3 new employees last Monday in the building department, planning department, and the admin. So we've been getting those 3 new employees settled, and I'll be onboarding the new police officer tomorrow morning as well. So meetings with department heads, accounts payable. Beth and I, we've been working on updating the website with both ambulance billing information, but then also there is a new RSA that requires us to disclose any amount of money that's being received by the state for any purpose. So we're doing a page on the website for that. We've had an interesting couple of weeks with Comcast issues, modems that have need to be replaced. We were without phones here at Town Hall last Monday and Tuesday. I've been troubleshooting over at the highway garage because I'd gotten a email around 2:00 in the morning on Sunday morning because the firewall was down over there. And then the phones were down at the highway garage all day today. I just got a text before the meeting saying those are finally up and running. Highway Department, pleased to report that Dan has been able to sign up all of the snowplow contractors already for the upcoming year. So everybody is back in the fold. We won't and shouldn't have any issues from that standpoint. Have been back and forth a lot with the utility assessors, getting information for all of the gas lines, the electrical and the like that we need to have assessed on a yearly basis. The final package went to the state today for Wilder Drive, so we're hoping to have that scheduled this week, and been billing and other things for household hazardous waste and the like. So it's been a very broad path over the last couple of weeks.
Well, I know the IT issues were a big one. Right, Beth?
Yes.
But glad to see that's back up and running.
Yes.
They actually walked into town hall the day that they were down.
Yeah, we
The
had,
day I was losing my mind.
Yeah.
I think we had one day last week where I think we did $365 from the clerk's office for the whole day.
Yeah.
So because of the IT issues and the VPN being down up to the state. Yeah, it was a very light day. We've had snowstorms where we've
Right.
done more than that. So,
All right. Thank you, Greg.
yes, you're welcome.
I just had a question. A few meetings back, I don't know how long back it was, but mentioned the ambulance was in an accident. Whatever came about with that?
The insurance was contacted. We've received payment on the insurance, and then the ambulance has been shipped or towed out to the manufacturer to put it on the proper equipment to make sure that everything, the frame and the like, are okay. And it's been out there and we have not heard anything back to my knowledge. So it's still, we're awaiting word from them.
And we've been able to use
We-
additional ambulance, so we still have 2 in town.
Yes, we had at least 2 towns that I'm aware of, maybe 3, that had reached out to offer, knowing that. And also it's the connections I think that the town has made with the ALS program, that these other towns that we're providing ALS service to reached out, said, you need an ambulance, let us know.
Yep.
Whatever you need. So it's been, it's been good that way, so that we have had 2 ambulances in town and no lack of coverage.
That's great.
So,
Good. That's the most important thing, that the coverage doesn't suffer.
Right.
The residents, that's number one.
Can we find out or get an update maybe at the next meeting? Like what, is it like totaled? Is it?
no, it's not, it's not,
repairable. Right?
yes.
It's just when they can get it back.
It's just a matter of when they can get the work done.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Next up, we have selectmen's reports. Tyler.
Don't have a ton. I attended one of the concerts back here at Town Hall last week. Swung by the Norman Major Building, see they did some improvements to the landscape over there, thanks to Dan at the Highway and Greg for getting that done. Didn't have any meetings or anything, kind of the dog days of summer here.
Yeah. Thank you. Jay?
I got nothing.
Nothing.
I already asked all my questions.
I stole a couple from me.
All right, one of the first things I want to say, I don't know how many people in town are aware of this. Let me pull up something right here, see if I have it. But there's a baseball team, Quintown, that we're a part of Quintown. It's a 12U baseball team. They actually have the nickname the Knuckleheads. That's what they call themselves. What this team does, it's comprised of 13 boys from Plastow, Atkinson, Newton, and Chester. The last 3 years, they've won the state championship. And this year, they did win the state championship again, but they also won the regionals in New England. So what that means is they will be heading to Cal Ripken, the Cal Ripken World Series, which is in Missouri. And that will start August 6th, which is actually pretty exciting. I don't think anyone's made it that far. It's really the equivalent of going to the Little League World Series. Cal Ripken is like a little bit different of a league.
Yes.
The rules are a little bit different at the 12U level. There's leading. The diamond's a little bit bigger than the standard Little League field. But, I mean, it's quite an accomplishment, really, from around here to have these kids make it. And the 4 kids that made it that are on that team from Plastow are Gavin Chapman, Chase DeFrane, Tyler Fielding, and Owen Stack. So that's really quite a thing for the kids. You figure you've worked your whole career, and it's what a way to go out at 12U to play in the Cal Ripken World Series.
It's like a dream come true.
You know, it's really quite a thing, and I'm sure you've seen it out on Facebook. Just so everyone's aware, there is a GoFundMe page out there to try to help the boys get out there. I know it's short notice. They just won the championship last week. But, I mean, I can't say enough. I'm not part of it, but I'm excited for the kids. I couldn't imagine, being a 12-year-old having to, keep your dream going for the summer, for, one last time. A lot of hard work. There's a lot of dedication that goes into it. I know with these teams, the practices start way back.
Back in January, I remember seeing these kids at clinics.
Yeah, I mean, over
February, March.
Yeah, over the winter. So it's really quite a credit, and the coaches deserve a lot of credit too.
Absolutely.
For bringing these kids together, and the parents for getting the kids to all the practices, the games, and everything. So it's really quite a commitment for everybody to do, and wish them the best of luck, and make the area proud.
Absolutely, very excited for
I'm
them.
sure there'll be updates on Facebook and everything else.
Yes.
As they go through each game, which is
Hopefully there's a live stream. We can watch it.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. We should reach out to them, see if there is, we can get it
I'm
posted
sure there'll
out
be
there.
something that we can get out there that they'll have it streaming some way.
Yeah, it'd be great just to get it posted and,
Yep.
Try to help the kids out and encourage them as much as you can.
Absolutely.
And if you see any of those kids around town or the coaches or anything, give them a congratulations and wish them luck. Also, since the last meeting, I attended an Eagle Scout ceremony on Friday at the Legion. It was for TJ Fox and Aiden Quimby. Those are always things I enjoy going to see. It's always nice. That's dedication and hard work there as well.
Yep.
I mean, you figure those kids start off, 6, 7 years old, first grade or whatever it is, and to see it through to make it all the way to Eagle Scout is quite the accomplishment. Did attend the planning board meeting, and also I have attended the summer concerts out back as well. Is there anything else anybody wanted to bring up?
I have nothing else.
We did have a non-public scheduled. I don't know if we want to wait till the other two are here. Jay, what do you think?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Probably makes the most sense.
So we'll put that off. So we have everybody, so we don't have to repeat ourselves again, right? Everyone good? Anything?
I'm good.
Good,
All set.
Jay? All right, with that, we will close the meeting at 6:41. Everyone try to stay cool. There's
little bit of heat coming tomorrow, I guess.
Yeah.
So stay cool, enjoy the dog days of summer. Unfortunately, the winter will be coming soon enough. All right, thank you. Have a good week, everyone.